Right, so this is a test of the Drift XL, just doing a little journey. So let me shut the lid. It's a bit windy, so I've got no chin bit support on the helmet, so we'll see how this sounds. It shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully I'm not speaking too loud, but yeah, just a basic test of the Drift XL. See what it's like. I've got some settings in DaVinci Resolve that I want to use to remove the weird fisheye lens, so lens correction, and a little bit of motion blur to smooth it out, because otherwise it's a bit jittery. So we'll see how that goes. It's never going to be as good as a GoPro, but we're testing it anyway. And if I'm quiet at any point, you know, it's because as a new rider I am still thinking about what I'm doing half the time, rather than, you know, it all come in as muscle memory and naturally. But after a few days of riding, I am starting to feel a bit more comfortable. You know, 40 mile an hour is starting to feel a bit more normal and not like the Enterprise doing warp 9. And yeah, just getting a feel for the bike, really. Plus me fake quad lock is holding up pretty nicely. Come on, don't make me go down to first, thank you. So yeah, just going out for a little journey. Typical. Typical. So I need to go and get some petrol at some point. I know I've got half a tank, but it'd be nice to fill up and see how many miles it will give me eventually. But yeah, the Drift Ghost XL was 150 quid. Oh, it's really hot. 150 quid. And the mic, it was an old mic that I had from an old headset, so that didn't cost me anything. But I think out of the box the video quality isn't that great because of the fisheye lens, so you need to use some lens correction software. See ya. Yeah, you need to put some lens correction software on it. So I found DaVinci Resolve. Well, no, DaVinci Resolve doesn't do it because that's the paid version. I've got Filmora, which I've had for a few years. That does it, which is handy. So I can export it in that, and then do some motion blur in DaVinci Resolve. So hopefully that should give me a good picture. That rear brake feels really weak. So we'll see how this turns out. I might chop up, I don't know whether to put the full video in or chop it up. I mean, you're not going to want to see periods of me silently riding, so if I'm just not talking, I'll just chop it up. I was going to wear my leather top as well. I've got new jeans, new trousers on. Frank Thomas, half leather, half textile. So I was going to wear my leather top as well, but I've gone for the hoodie, armoured hoodie. Just to be a bit more comfortable, I think, in the heat. Although these trousers are ridiculously warm and heavy. goes right up my arse. You can see got learner plates on. Then again, I'm not going to rush for anyone, they can wait for me. I don't think people realise just how slow a 125 is, especially a brand new one that you're trying to run in. In a car, you know, 30, 40 mile an hour, it just feels slow. On a bike, as a new rider, it doesn't. But thankfully, for the most part, most riders are good. You know, it's just the odd one. I've had a couple overtake me, even though I'm doing the speed limit, just because I've got L plates on. They've had no other reason to overtake me. They don't, you know, they've got like 2 minutes further down the road. So it's just that L plate probably does a lot worse than it does good, to be honest, L plates. I'm not a big fan of them. And I've remembered to put the indicator off. It's one of my biggest flaws, is forgetting that. I can smell barbecues everywhere. Oh, it's so annoying. I've got to wait till, what's the time? I've got another 4 hours till I get my sausage sandwich. Sausage sandwich and chips I think I'm having for dinner. Lovely jubbly. This just feels so freedom, like compared to a car. This is just, you do feel a lot more vulnerable, obviously, but it's just so nice. The freedom, it's really nice. See, no one nods at me. Get down into a gear. This little engine ain't gonna get around the corner otherwise. Yeah, I'm getting much more comfortable with the biting point and the clutch now. The gear lever is still a bit awkward to get to sometimes. Maybe I just got fat feet. Who knows? Got me a nice green economical ride-in marker on the dash. This bike is just so good as a learner bike. I'll have to take it, get off and have a look, show you around it at some point. Plus it's got the new matte marble blue colour, which is a beautiful colour. This is a lovely little estate to come practice. If you live in the area, Aylesford, then the nice big roads. I don't think there's many car parks here, unfortunately, but just riding around the estate itself is quite a nice little practice. There's another one by the M20 that's got some car parks for practicing your U-turns, etc. One thing I like about this bike that I'm not used to from a car is the engine braking. You get quite a bit of engine braking from this, whereas in my car you don't. So you don't actually have to use a lot of brake. And I've got a bug on my visor. Lovely. Right in my eye line. Very typical. Oh, he's gone. Oh, good. I thought he was splattered, but he wasn't. I tell you what, despite being a hot day, I am getting a little amount of airflow. Oh no, he's back. That bloody fly, piss off. He's right in the middle of my visor. Like really, really annoying. Straight over. Send me. Yep. Don't forget to lifesaver. As a car driver, I'm not used to lifesavers. I do them quite often naturally in my car, but not at roundabouts so much, like the small ones like that. On big roundabouts I do. Yeah, the rear brake really doesn't do a lot on this bike. It's quite sloppy. Then again, it's only an old drum brake. That's a wafty gear change. I'm still getting some janky gear changes. They're a lot better than they were when I first started a week ago, but it's still a little bit janky, some of them. Need to scratch my nose. Oh, it's so nice. So nice. I got a nod. Amazing, I got a nod. People do nod learner drivers. They're just very ignorant ones. I mean, like I've said before, I am very lucky that as a car driver I do know the rules of the road. I don't actually have to learn the rules of the road so much, whereas a lot of youngsters would do. So I've got an advantage there. I just have to be careful because my bike's so slow that no one rams me up the arse. This has just been resurfaced, this part, and it feels really nice, smooth as butter. I might stop in there. Well, I don't like Shell garages. I prefer BP or... This road's a bit shitty, isn't it? Not the best road in the world, is it, for surface? The mirrors on this bike are pretty good. It's just a random thing to say, but I guess when I do a review of the bike, there's something that will come up. That's one thing I'm always doing, is checking my mirrors. It's just habit as a car driver to always check my mirrors. I thought that car was stopped because someone at the zebra crossing. I was about to stop, but he's just parked. Feels really strange being in 5th gear, just ploodling along at 25 mile an hour. Just doesn't seem natural to me at the moment. I guess it will be soon. I hope the wind noise isn't too much in this video. Need to find somewhere to turn around. Start heading back. I've reached Snodland. It's about as far as I wanted to go. Let's turn up here, should we? Yeah. Wasn't the best U-turn, but it was really tight, so I just put my foot down. Oh, I can't see shit. Couldn't see shit out of that corner. Forgot to turn my indicator off. That was bad. That's from when I turned into the that close. Oh. What we got? Cafe, barbers. Oh, there's a car behind me. I thought he was going to try and overtake me then. Thankfully he didn't. See, this is the good thing about a bike. You don't need a lot of space. Obviously, that's just speaking the obvious now. I'm just waffling on, enjoying the ride. I'm sure kids ain't going to jump out on me. Oh, what a lovely day for it, honestly. This is unbelievably nice out here. This is beautiful. Shame it's going to go crap again in a day or two. Plus you can avoid speed bumps. That's a nice thing about a bike. Although not this one, because there's a car coming. Stand up for that one. Let's get some petrol while I'm here. Oh my god, that's tiny. Size of it. That bike, tiny. Did you do your CBT last month? I thought I recognised them eyes. How's it going? Left my gloves behind. Right, so let's crack on back to where we came from. See the guy I done my CBT with in the petrol station. Who's this? Guy's a bit impatient, isn't he? Better have my brake lights on. Let him know my intentions. Oh, definitely becoming a lot more natural now on this, but I'm not going to get cocky. Something will throw a curveball in my face, I know it will. I think the curveball is that the 125 isn't the fastest bike in the world. People generally treat you like trash because they think you're like on a 50cc moped or something. People don't understand. They think you can only do 30 miles an hour. so they bully you. You just have to stand firm. And I'm lucky as a road driver, car driver for 20 years. I'm not prepared to take shit from drivers. Seems like for the last few days, every traffic light, I've been stuck at the front of the queue. I mean, I want to keep up with traffic, but I don't want to rag the bike either, being brand new and in its running in period. So once it's run in, I'll be able to push it harder and I won't have to worry about these idiots like this one behind me getting too close. A lot of people say the running in period's not even necessary, but I beg to differ. Not that I'm a mechanic, but I'd rather err on the side of caution. I'd rather err on the side of caution than not, just in case. I think it's just so you don't get too much oil in the engine. And too much metal in the oil. Too much engine in the oil, basically, where it's new and just bedding in. It's a shame back to work tomorrow, to be honest. Could enjoy going for a few rides now that I'm getting comfortable. A list of things I need to do for the channel. I need to show the bike. I don't know what that was all about. Show the bike. What was I saying? Yeah. I haven't got my indicators on, have I? No? I don't know what that was about then. Right, I need to do a video about the bike I've got, which is a CB125F, and the gear I've got, because I want to do it for the new riders. As a new rider myself, I can give like experience of why I got it and what I got. God, bloody ass windy. Most of my gear is Frank Thomas. So Frank Thomas is actually J&S's own brand. They bought them out a while back, so it's actually like a J&S own brand now. And it's one of the best brands I found for price compared to quality. Whereas Alpine Stars obviously are a premium brand. They do good stuff, but you're also paying for the name. And I do actually have Alpine Stars boots on. They're little ankle boots. They're more like trainers. They're not rock hard like racing boots or anything. I got them specifically because they're like trainers, more like trainers than others. Because if I'm going out and I want to walk about, then I want a comfortable shoe to walk in. What am I on? Is that total? I was going to say, that's not my miles left, is it? 40? No, that's... I don't think the computer's quite worked out. It's never had a full tank. I don't think the computer's ever had a full tank to... I don't think the computer's ever had a full tank to get my mileage right. I'll have a look at that in a minute. That's trip A. Trip A. Don't want that. Trip A, no. Trip no. Should be, no. 42 miles left, it says in the tank, so obviously it hasn't registered properly yet. It needs updating. Pretty sure full tank is not 42 miles on this thing. I'd be pretty shocked if it was, and worried. I think because it's the first time it's had a full tank since it's hasn't quite worked out what it's doing yet. The computer needs a bit of help. Really nice and manoeuvrable. Oh, see, there's a janky gear change. It's too eager to throttle. I best start doing the speed limit up here, wouldn't I? Rather than poodling. I'll say that's one thing I've noticed on this bike. I think I said it before in the last video, was you can't hold the clutch in for too long and go down multiple gears, because it seems to get stuck in no man's land after a while. And someone on Reddit said it's because when you pull in the clutch, one end of the engine is still spinning and it eventually stops spinning, or something like this. Something like this. And so all the time it's spinning, it can locate what gear it's in. It can locate the gears and what gear it's in. But once it stops, because you've held the clutch in for too long, it can't. So it sort of gets stuck in no man's land, doesn't know where it is. And that happened to me. You have to rock it back and forward when you're stopped, or just release the clutch if you're still rolling, for its brain to start working a little bit again. Oh, that's a bit silly. Down 2 gears and emptied the clutch. See, luckily I didn't panic, and the muscle memory in me more kicked in to pull the clutch. Whereas the first day I was riding, that might have spooked me a little bit. But the clutch control is becoming much better. Every time I hear a horn, I think it's for me. I think, is my bike falling apart? Am I doing something wrong? Oh, it's a lovely cool breeze. I was burning hot. My cousin turned up. I was standing there chatting to him for a while, and yeah, I was sweating. Oh, why? What's going on? The car felt a bit. The bike felt a bit wobbly then. I've checked the tyres. They were the correct pressures the last time I checked, which was a couple of days ago. Maybe it's just the wind and the camber of the road. Hopefully the wheel's not going to fall off or something. That would be a bit disastrous. And I'm guessing a bit painful. But yeah, this whole trip has been a Drift XL test. So I think I've had the test, so this is going to be my usual spot for turning off the videos, up Hermitage Lane. Nice little spot to end it, by the hospital, then I can ride home from there. So yeah, hopefully some people might watch this, probably not, but you know, it's going to be my new little hobby, making a little YouTube channel. So let's see if anyone wants to join in and come on the journey with me. So if you are watching it, then I'd like to say thank you, and I'll see you again in the future. Okay, thank you, bye.